Chapter 23, A Day Like Any Other. The second Tuesday in October started out the same as any other. I was late, as usual, because I'd slept in, as usual. I'd stayed up extra late after talking to Moniba studying for my end-year exam in Pakistani studies. I'd already done a disappointing job on my physics exam, so I would have to get a perfect score on this exam if I was going to take the number one spot back from Malik Noor. It was a point of pride. It was also a sibling thing. If I didn't come in first, I'd never hear the end of it from Kushal. I gulped down a bit of fried egg and chapati with my tea and raced out the door, just in time to catch the bus crammed with other girls on their way to school. I was happy that morning, ridiculously happy. Before I left, my father had been teasing Atal, saying he could be my secretary when I became prime minister. And of course Atal said, no, he would be prime minister and I would be his secretary. It seemed as if everything in my life was going well. My mother was learning to read. I was on my way to the school I loved, and Moniba and I were friends again. I told myself not to worry about Malik and instead to work hard, and I thought I should thank God for all I had. So I did. I whispered a prayer of thanks before I managed a few last minutes of studying for my exam. Oh, and God, I said, please don't forget to give me first place, since I have worked so hard. I always prayed the most during exams. Usually I did not pray on time, which means praying 5 times a day, our religious duty. But at this time of year, my friends and I all prayed on time. I asked for help with my exams or help to come in first in the class. Our teachers always told us, though, God won't give you marks if you don't work hard. God showers us with blessings, but He is honest as well, so I always worked hard, too. Exam morning passed, and I felt confident I had done well. Afterward, Moniba suggested that we stay behind and wait for the second pickup, which we did often so we could chat before going home. When the Dinah arrived, I looked around for Atal. My mother had told him to ride home with me that day. But soon I was distracted as the girls gathered around to watch our driver do a magic trick with the disappearing pebble. No matter how hard we tried, we could not figure out his secret. I forgot all about Atal as we piled into the van. We squeezed in and took our usual places, about 20 girls in all. Moniba was next to me, and the rest of my friends were across from us on the other bench. A little girl named Hina grabbed the seat next to me, the spot where my friend Shazia usually sat, forcing Shazia to sit on the bench in the middle, where we often put our backpacks. Shazia looked so unhappy. I asked Hina to move. Just as the van was about to pull away, Atal came running. The doors were shut, but he jumped onto the tailboard on the back. This was a new trick of his, riding home, hanging off the tailboard. It was dangerous, and our bus driver had had enough of it. Sit inside, Atal, he said. But Atal didn't budge. Sit inside with the girls, Atal Khan Yusufazieh, or I won't take you, the driver said, with more force this time. Atal yelled that he would rather walk home than sit with girls. He jumped down and stormed off in a huff. It was hot and sticky inside the Dinah as we bounced along Mangora's crowded rush hour streets, and one of the girls started a song to pass the time. The air was thick with the familiar smell of diesel, bread, and kebab mixed with the stench from the nearby stream, which everyone dumped trash. We turned off the main road at the army checkpoint, as always, and passed the poster that read, Wanted Terrorists. Just after we passed the Little Giant snack factory, the road became oddly quiet, and the bus slowed to a halt. I don't remember a young man stopping us and asking the driver if this was the Kushal school bus. I don't remember the other man jumping onto the tailboard and leaning into the back, where we were all sitting. I never heard him ask, who is Malala? And I didn't hear the crack, crack, crack of the 3 bullets. The last thing I remembered is thinking about my exams the next day. After that, everything went black.